But we have a new story time that I feel like this will be perfect. You'll be the perfect person to chime in on this one. You ready for this? Okay. So I'll try to keep this quick, but it's a lot that goes into this. Mr. Man, we're gonna call him Mr. Man. He was my he reached out to me and was like, hey, I'm actually a brand photographer. So he reached out to me and he was like, hey, I want you to shoot some brand photos for me. I'm from California. And he was like, I'm looking to like update my dating profiles and like everything because I'm looking for a wife. Oh, I'm the perfect person for you. I got you. Like I'm gonna make it happen. So he comes to my city to do his photo shoot. We do the photo shoot and we hit it off. Like we're at the photo shoot.
Wait a minute. So he flies from another state to your state to do a photo shoot?
Yeah, but that's honestly for me not to be funny. That's not unusual because a lot of my clients fly from other cities to do photo shoots.
Oh, excuse me. Okay. Exceptional work. Okay.
Yes. So we do the photo shoot and we just hit it off. We're talking about God and we're really connecting on that level because that's really something that's important to me. We're talking about God. We're talking about just life in general, and he's just telling me a lot about like what he's looking for in a wife and that he's really looking to find a wife. And I was like, oh, that's great. And so immediately he's like, before the shoot's over, he's like, well, I would love to take you to dinner. I was like, of course. I was like, sure, I'll go to dinner with you. And he's like, when we get to dinner, I'm not gonna lie, it was nice. It was a Michelin star restaurant. It was the whole nine, the whole shebang. He was like, I really want to show you a good time. Like he was a man with money. I would just say that. Let's just say he great man with good money. And so we go to the photo shoot. We go to dinner. Dinner is going really well. Except what I'm noticing is that he's extremely forward. He's extremely forward, meaning like his priorities were when he was looking for a woman, it was a woman of God who's beautiful and who just like has purpose and takes great care of himself. A lot of things that you say like is very true. And another thing that you say that's also true that he says is that it's like he likes women who are not so raunchy in dressing, and that's not me. Like I don't dress raunchy or anything else like that. He's like, I like a really clean, modest woman as well. Anyway, jump ahead to the story. We go to dinner. Dinner's going well, and then he goes, I want to do a second part of my photo shoot, and I want to do it in Bali. I said, where? And he's like, yeah, I want to go do it in Bali. And so I'm like, okay, I'm interested. My tingles are up. And so progressing through the story, I'm like, hey, I'm interested. I said, let me think about it, but I'm interested in going. And so I set some rules and regulations before I even do anything. I said,
right, and of course you got to book your team. He has to book your team. It's not just you, Mecca.
No. So that was my number one rule. I said, you have to buy a flight for both me and my assistant. It needs to be minimum business class. I said, it needs to be minimum business class. It needs to be for both me and my assistant. It needs to be, and I need you to pay my proposal before we go, because as much as great, I love that you have a romantic interest in me, but it's business first. And so he offers, and he's like, he agrees to my terms. He's like, okay, let's do it. So he agrees to the terms. I'm like, however,
you was like, I hope he don't say yes. You trying to lay it on thick. And he's still, that's what I'm feeling from you. Like, damn.
Yeah. Okay. So now I can get into some reservations, because all my friends are like, girl, you're crazy for ever saying no.
Okay. So for those of you guys who don't know, this lady, Ashley, she teaches women how to get rich men, quote unquote sugar daddies. So this woman apparently found one, but she's putting all these stipulations of, you gotta fly me out, you gotta fly out my assistant and my team and BS like that. Here we go. Let's go.
So I get into a bit of my reservations. I'm like, hey, like he put a huge emphasis on the fact that he's a Christian man and he's looking for a Christian woman or a woman of God. And that was one of the main things that we connected on. However, during the entirety of the photo shoot, he was throwing out a ton of sexual innuendos. Like, I want these pictures to be some pictures that make a girl's pussy wet. Or
girl, no. Girl. It's a no.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, okay, maybe that's just the way he talks. I'm like, and then he goes like, yeah, when I date a girl, he told me, he's like, I want them to, like, they don't have to worry about anything. I'll take care of everything. But, I want them to call me daddy. Now, I'm not against calling a man daddy. Like, that's not a problem.
Right.
But first meeting, first date, first weekend, I don't know.
The language to say. You
what guys, I got a question. Why do these women think that the way they date an average guy is the same way they're gonna date a guy with money? Like a guy with money is gonna say whatever he wants because he get the money, he get what you want. So you said he took you to a 5-star restaurant and it was, it was a good restaurant. You know he has money, he's trying to fly you out, and then you're trying to control him like an average guy. They don't get it. What they want is they want to find a man who has money, lots of money, willing to spend it on them, and doesn't want nothing sexual. And he's just a sucker. He's just there to spend money on them. So they are trying to find sugar daddies who don't want any sugar. Like that doesn't make sense to me. Why is she acting? Why are they surprised that a man who's spending all this money on them wants some sugar, wants to clap chicks? Like, what world are they living in? This doesn't make any sense.
know, cat. That's just too
Anything.
explicit. It's explicit language. And to
Anything.
me,
Because he
he's
has
also
money.
testing you to see how far he can push his boundaries. And if you laughed it off and you didn't say anything about it and you went with it, which you did because you even entertained the conversation about Bali, he already knows. Hey, I could I could push up on her kind of thing.
Right.
And I'm sure, did he try to push up on you?
Okay, so we're gonna get to that part.
Yeah, because I know that's coming.
So the next day we did go to church together. We went to church together. We had a lunch date right after church. Everything was going well until he did try to kiss me. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. And so I rejected the kiss, but he still was like, hey, I still want to pursue you. I said, okay, but I need to make this clear to you. Like, I am on an abstinence journey. Like, this is where I'm at right now. And are you okay with that? He said, yeah, I'm very much okay with that. Yeah, I'm very much okay with that.
Yeah, that just made him want him. Oh, a challenge? Oh, okay. I'm going to really get her now. Yeah.
Right. Mind you, yes, somebody said a wolf in sheep's clothing because, mind you, he says he's okay with that. We go for, and I'm like,
oh my God, I can't, guys. So women want men to spend money on them, rich men, not just average guy, because she has been alluding to the fact that this guy has money. Now they're trying to make rich men wait for sex. You want to make a man spend money on you and wait for sex? I mean, if that's the thing, she's gonna have to date me. She's gonna have to come to Boogie and date me because I'm not gonna spend any money. So I'm willing to wait 90 days, 1,000 days. How long do you want me to wait? But you want a rich man to wait for sex while spend money?
Okay, that's fine. And I'm like, at this point, in my brain, I'm getting a little excited. I'm like, okay, you're willing to pay for both me and my friend. I'm abstinent. You say you're okay with that, all the things. Until he had made another sexual innuendo comment, and I addressed it at that point. I was like,
what did he say? What was this comment?
It was like something like, he was like, oh, I don't want to make you uncomfortable by telling you that I would want to dick you down, but I'm like, that's your man.
Wait.
That's your man?
Wait, Mecca. Wait.
Yeah.
After church services?
This is after church. We on the phone because mind you, he doesn't live in my city, so he lives in another city. Girl,
what do you expect? He has money.
No.
So I'm like,
it's a strong no.
I know, but you know where I was teetering on it because I was like, okay, this could be fun. I'm very clear. Like me and my friend is my assistant, and she's like, she knows, like, girl, we're not playing that game. And so, but at the same time, my other gut feeling, the other part of me was like, I don't know. And this is what kind of secured it was I addressed it to him. I said, hey, this makes me uncomfortable when you say X, Y, and Z. Like, it doesn't sit well with me. And I couldn't read through the commentary, but he was like, yeah, but I want you to understand, like, this is how I flirt, knowing that we're not having sex. This is also how I flirt. And this is how I like express my like interest in you. And that I am like,
he does this with everyone. He barely knows you. And he's being that forthcoming, that explicit, saying whatever's on his mind. He does that with every girl.
He's spending money. Y'all don't want average men who are nice guys who don't say those things because they don't spend money. But now you want the rich guys who spend money to act like they don't want sex. They want sex. The only issue is they're willing to spend money for it. Like, what world are these women living in? And like I told you guys, Ashley teaches these women that they're going to find some rich guy who's just going to spend money on them and not want sex in return. That's what she teaches them. Now, the only thing I may agree with her is that she teaches them to be feminine and dress nicely, but and be in shape. Other than that, she teaches them that for some reason they're going to find some rich guy who's going to spend money on them, take them on trips, but he doesn't want sex. I don't know in which world for that to happen, they're going to have to find a man who's 95 years old and he's a rich guy.
Has no boundaries, and he uses being a godly man as a shield.
Yeah.
So you can let your wall down. That's
Yeah.
why he uses the church.
Yeah, and I think that's where I wasn't reading it because I was trying to decipher it for myself because I'm like, this is my like it's new for me dating as a godly woman and now trying to like date like a godly way. And so I'm like now I'm trying to decipher it and it's like, am I
Well, let me ask you, if your friends was telling you about this man and y'all
guys, we got a born again virgin. Oh, okay. I see. This been happening a lot these days.
in church service, would you consider this man, with all that you know and all that he said, would you consider him a godly man? Emotions aside.
No. But it sounded good. And so this is what sealed the deal though, because I'm like, okay. I told him I was uncomfortable with it, and he was like, "This is how I flirt." And then it turned into another hour-long conversation, another 30-minute long conversation. And I was like, "Yeah, well, I'm just not like this is not." I was like, "Yeah, but that's not how it sits well with me, and I just want to make sure I'm holding you accountable as a godly man." And he was like, basically the way he positioned it, it sounded a little bit manipulative because the way he positioned it was like we got into a conversation where he was like, I am a man who can, because mind you, he's also older, because he's like, I'm a man who can teach you something. He's like, he kept putting an emphasis on how much value he brought to my life. Like he was like, when you
he brought
come
money.
in, and this another thing how forward he was being was when you come into, he's like telling me about how great moving to his city was, and that how great his house was, and how I would never have to work for anything, and how he can give me an au pair, which is the nanny thing. And he was like all these things like, yes, somebody said it like he was like positioning himself like he's the prize in the situation.
He is.
Don't be wrong, like he brings a lot of value, but at the same time, I know I do too. And it was like you're trying to position it where you're like,
but the value you're bringing him, you don't want to the value he's looking for is to clap cheeks, and you don't want to give it up. Like they are looking for a godly man who has money, willing to spend it, but doesn't want sex. Like, in which corner of the world are they going to find that? Unless they find a pastor, but these pastors be clapping chicks back there in the church. They clap all the chicks of the choir members. They want a godly man who doesn't want sex, who's rich, and is going to take them on trips, because this guy was planning to take her on a trip to Bali, and she was excited. But the issue here is she doesn't like the fact that she thought she had found a sucker, but he's really straightforward. He wants to clap cheeks, but then she's torn between two worlds. She's like, should I just give in because he has money, or should I just pretend like I'm a born again virgin and make him wait? But you can't make a rich guy wait unless he's dumb. But even for how long?
Like, you're bringing more value to my life than it is I'm bringing to yours. And so he was like, yeah, I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but what it sounds like to me, I want to just teach you something as a little sis. I said, excuse me, I want to teach you something as a little sis. He says, don't get offended by this, but I just want you to know that I feel like women in general need to be manipulated a little bit. I said, what? I said, who? I said, yeah. He said, women in general need to be manipulated a little bit. He said, when you meet a man like me, who is going to be loyal, who has a lot of options, who has a lot of integrity and makes a lot of money, you need to, there's a way you should act and approach. I was like, I don't know. That was
She's just mad that she finally thought she found a sucker, but unfortunately the sucker wants to clap chicks and she doesn't want to give up the chicks. You feel me? That is the truth. All right, let's go to the next video. Okay, let's go to the PF.